So last month I was down at the Moore Expo and I had a great time hanging out in Storyteller Row, helping raise awareness for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And just had a great time walking around, checking out the venue, and then going over and checking out something that was new, and that was the Power Sports Expo that was going on over there. And as I went in, something happened that I didn't quite expect. Well, first, this new venue is huge. There's plenty of room for ATVs and UTVs and side-by-sides and motorcycles and boats and you name it. There was just plenty of room for everybody, and there'll be even room for probably more vendors next year. And when you walked around, everybody's pretty excited to show you what they had to offer.
We showed before, it comes out tangle-free every time.
The arena floor was filled with vendors selling power sports gear and products, off-roading adventures in the Ozarks, knives, and even women's clothing. One product that caught my eye was by the company TMAT. It's a truck bed floor system that can lock your boxes and gear in place and keep them from sliding around when you're driving on the road or on the trail. Jason over at All Things Overland did an awesome review on the product, so be sure to check the link in the description to get his thoughts. Now, all these vendors and products were pretty cool, but the real stars of the show were the ATVs and the side-by-sides. Now, I was having a good time walking around and checking out all the cool stuff, all the side-by-sides and things like that. But then I saw something that made me feel a little blue, just a little bit sad. And that was this bike right here. This is the legendary Kawasaki KLR 650. They've been making it for over 25 years. Now, I've never owned one because I've always been a little bit different, a Suzuki guy. I had a DR 650. And all the memories of riding that bike and the other bikes I've owned in so many places around the country came rushing back. And for the first time in 3 years, I missed having a motorcycle. I missed the quick meetups and the rides on the gravel roads and two-track not too far from home, exploring the dirt along the St. Croix River, riding up in the Arrowhead portion of Minnesota, and the awesome adventures in Utah, Colorado, Canada, Maine, and so many other wonderful places. Now, the first bike that I did any really touring on was a 1978 Suzuki GS 550, and it was called Taz. It had a hand-painted Tasmanian devil on the tank. Now, it wasn't long after riding that bike that I decided I wanted to have a more gravel-friendly bike. That's when I picked up my 2012 DR 650. Now, this bike took me all over. It took me to Indianapolis, it took me to Kentucky, it took me through Moab, it took me on the Colorado BDR, and on every back road in Minnesota and Wisconsin that I could make time for. Yeah, I do miss that bike. I really do miss that bike. But let's go back and check out the expo. I've never really been a boat guy. They're pretty cool. But when I came around the corner and saw the Royal Enfields, I just had to check them out. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Royal Enfields, but they are definitely a less is more bike, and to me, that would make one fun to own. Their simplicity would just make them fun to ride, and the sound of these bikes is amazing. And once again, the motorcycle memories came rushing back. Spending time with my friends and brother-in-law, chasing down Wisconsin rustic roads, riding to Glacier National Park on my Super Tenere, and cruising the Ozarks on my Triumph Scrambler 1200. Now, since I'm a Scrambler guy, Honda had a bike there that was just up my alley. Sure, the gold wings are nice, but this 500cc Scrambler would be perfect for my needs, wants. So it's been about 3 years now since I've had a motorcycle, and I started late in my early 40s. I'm now in my mid 50s, and I have made some great friends. I've gone to some wonderful places. It was something that I did with my kids. We loaded up a sidecar, went to Colorado. I even hauled my Schnauzer around in a sidecar. Sidecar rigs are something that maybe I could reconsider, maybe. They are a lot of fun. So why did I give up motorcycles? Well, it was about 3 years ago that I helped EMTs pick my friend up off the pavement and put him in an ambulance, and I started to realize that the risk was not as great as the reward, and that reward was being part of my stepson's care team with his mom. That reward was being around for my kids. That reward was knowing that I'm wanted more than ever, and the motorcycle, as much as I loved riding it and loved still being on one, it just wasn't worth it for me anymore. You know, I've got people in my life that I want to grow old with, and it was just time to say goodbye to them. You know, I consider it like leaving the casino while I'm still up. So I'm going to miss it, but at the same time, I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to revel in the things that I have now. Overall, I think the Power Sports Expo was a great addition to the Moore Expo, and if you go next year, be sure to bring your credit card and check it out. So one of my favorite things when I was on a motorcycle was following somebody and watching their motorcycle kick up the dried fall leaves on a curvy, tree canopied road. It's just a wonderful sight, and I just love it. I love everything about it. And I can still get out there and do things in the frontier, so it is making missing a motorcycle a little less hard. You know, overall, with the friends I've made, I'm feeling blessed. I'm happy. And I think my mom's happy too, knowing there's not a motorcycle in the garage. So thank you guys for watching and letting me be part of this overland and off-roading community. Who knew you could have just as much fun in the woods and on the trails on four wheels as you can on two? So until the next one, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you down the road.